You watching this video right now have zero excuses to not achieving the ATAR you want. In this video, I'm going to go over why and how that's the case. And honestly, this is the video I wish I had back when I was in year 11 and 12, and especially back when I was trying to do well in school and I just thought everything was against me. Now, if you are serious about achieving that success and serious about achieving that dream ATAR of yours, watch this video from start to end. I'll try not making it too long, but it's just such an important message that I need you to hear. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. If you've been watching my content for a while now, you will already know this. But for those of you who are new, I'm just gonna restate it for you guys. So since the start of year 7, I was always a bad student. Like I was barely passing anything. I was low performing, getting C's, getting D's, maybe 1B. The point is I wasn't doing good at all, okay? In fact, at the end of year 10, I wanted to drop out myself. I literally wanted to drop out of school and my school wanted me to do so also, right? Because I obviously wasn't helping them that much too, right? And basically, long story short, by the way, if you're interested in learning more about my story, you can check the video up here if you're new to the channel. But long story short, at the start of year 11, I decided that I wanted to change myself and I wanted to actually do well in school. So I put my all into everything, okay? I genuinely wanted to do well. However, something stopped me. Something really, really stopped me from having the confidence of doing so. And that was the fact that I had everything against me. I had barely passed D7 to 10. In primary school, I got additional support classes. Literally, that's how, that was me in primary school. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I did not go to a good school at all. I went to a 300 plus ranked public school, probably 500. I'd say 300 plus. It was not 300, it was like 400 something, right? 500 something. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is that my subjects weren't high scaling. I mean, I wasn't even allowed to do them. But the point is like, I had no advantage for me. I had no advantage at all, right? So that is why when I first started my journey of changing myself and I sat down and I wrote my goals of achieving this and that and this, I was paralyzed for days. Why? Because I was thinking about the fact that how the hell am I going to achieve this ATAR? How am I going to achieve a 95 ATAR, which was the goal I set at the time, when there is not a single advantage I have? I see people who have way more advantages than I have, people who go to top schools, people who do this, people who are doing this subject, people who have been doing decent for their whole schooling life, always been a good student. Even they are not getting that ATAR. So how the hell am I going to get it? And that's when I started making excuses, okay? Unfortunately, I fell into the disgusting pattern of making excuses. I blamed everything. I blamed everyone. I blamed my teachers. I blamed my school. I blamed the subjects. I blamed even my parents. Like I was blaming everyone. I was even blaming my friends actually, right? So I kept making excuses. I kept already, like before my journey even started, I was making excuses as to why I wouldn't be able to get the ATAR. Now, this happened for around a week or two, okay? A week or two of just being a complete loser and making excuses, right? But then after the second week or the first week or whatever, how long it was, I realized that like, hold on, I literally have no excuses. I have no excuses. And even if I did have an excuse, what does blaming my school, my teacher, my subject do? It does nothing. Blaming doesn't do anything, right? So I determined, it's such a vivid moment for me. I remember one day I was sick of making excuses. I was sick of feeling this way. So I just got up out of my chair and I told myself, as cringy and cliche as it sounds, I genuinely did do this. I went up to a mirror and I just spoke to myself and I said, no more excuses, stop talking crap, put your head down and work and see what result you get. Like that's it. Put your head down and work and just see what result you get. That was my mindset. And from that day, although I was really battling with myself to not make excuses, from that day, I did not make a single excuse. I never blamed my teacher, I never blamed my school, nothing. Even when I didn't do the best, because in year 11, I was still doing pretty average. It was only in year 12 when I really skyrocketed. But in year 11, when I did average, I didn't blame anyone, I didn't blame anything. I took all the blame and the excuses and chucked it back on myself, okay? And what was the result of that? What was the result of me getting rid of all my excuses, blaming myself, and just focusing on the step that was right in front of me, which is just putting in the work and not worrying about the result in the end? What happened? Well, I ended up achieving not a 95, I achieved a 97.9 ATAR. Let's just round it to 98. I became the dux of my cohort. I got a scholarship to study at a top university, UNSW, and I got a band 6 in every single one of my subjects. Yes, at a 300 plus rank public school. Yes, with my subjects. Yes, with all these things against me. Yes, I end up achieving that. So why am I making this video? I'm making this video to show you that I am living proof that you can achieve any ATAR that you want to achieve. And the only thing that's genuinely stopping you from doing that is you, okay? I know if you watch my content, I say this all the time, right? But I want you to really understand this. I want you to be harsh on yourself with this. The only way you don't succeed is if you don't do the right things. You are holding you back. Do you understand that? When you make an excuse, when you blame someone or something, you are giving that very thing power over you. Because let's think about this logically, right? If I was to blame, let's say you blame your teacher. Okay, that's a big one. I used to blame my teachers all the time, right? If you blame your teacher, then you've given up all autonomy to do their own thing. Like, think about that for a second. If you were to blame your math teacher, then you have now gotten rid of all reasons for why you should be putting the work. If you were to say that my teacher sucks at teaching, then you don't feel obliged anymore to even do the work. Like, really think about this. Okay, even if you were to blame your school, okay, if you blame your school and you say your school is bad, it's going to stop me from achieving this, stop me from doing that, the environment is bad, the people is bad, what, okay, let's say you make that excuse. How does that bring you closer to success? It doesn't. It makes you feel good in the moment, but in reality, it's just really destroying you. And this is why we make excuses, by the way, because we humans love excuses. We humans find it so much easier to just blame someone else or blame something else than to look at ourselves and be like, damn, I'm the reason why this happened. This is so important. This concept is so important. And this is why I said at the start of this video that I wish I watched this when I was in year 11 and 12, because it's such a stupid pattern to sit there and blame everything and blame everyone. Okay? So I want you to do this action step. After this video, you know what? Right now, I want you to write this down as I speak it. Okay? I want you to challenge yourself to just take complete responsibility and to blame yourself for absolutely everything. Everything, yes. And by the way, just a quick clarification here before I get some hate in the comments. I'm not saying your teacher doesn't suck. I'm not saying your school doesn't suck. I am not saying that your, whatever excuse you're using, maybe it's valid, who knows? I don't know. I don't know what your situation is. I'm saying that despite that excuse, I want you to still flip it back on yourself. Because what's the difference here? Flipping it on yourself makes you motivated and makes you driven to change. Putting it on someone else, well, why the hell should you change? It's their fault. Does that make sense? Okay, so going back to what I was saying, the action step for this video is I want you to actually write down to yourself or say to yourself aloud. In my case, I just look myself in the mirror and said it, okay? You need to take full responsibility over everything. Everything up until this point is your doing. You failing, getting poor marks, getting D's, getting C's, I don't care what it is all your doing, okay? Your teacher's bad, it's still your fault because you're the one who didn't take the action on themselves. Your school bad, it's still your fault. You didn't seek more resources outside of your school. Do you see how you can flip everything and make it your own fault? Now, a quick warning, when you do this, it's going to feel painful. It's going to suck because once again, we humans hate being at blame. But trust me, when you do this, it will change your life because you will take action, okay? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of speaking to students and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is some excuse. Like, that's it. The amount of students I speak to, they make the biggest excuses and I can tell that that's the reason why they're never going to succeed. I'll speak to a student, oh, how are you doing in school? Yeah, I'm doing good, but my teacher's away and this, my teacher's not the best, we didn't get resources, blah, blah, blah. Like, they just make so many excuses. I had a student the other day blaming extracurriculars. They were blaming the fact that they have a lot of things on and that's why they can't do studying. That's still your fault. Manage your time properly. Prioritize. Do you see how I challenge you, literally put any excuse that you're making right now down below and I'll flip it for you and make it your own fault. Even if it's a valid excuse. That is a lesson for today. That is a lesson for this video. Even if you have to rewatch this video, I don't care. Even if you have to play this video in your ears every single day, please stop making excuses and follow that challenge I've just proposed to you of just, spend the whole week this week just not making any excuses. Don't blame anything. Not only in school, but in life too. Okay? Even in life, just take all blame for everything. okay? And just a recap regarding the ATAR itself, you need to understand that whatever ATAR you want to achieve, whether it's a 90, a 95, an 85, doesn't matter, 99.9, I don't care, right? The only thing stopping you is yourself. Do you understand why now? Because you making excuses is in itself a limiting factor. That is still you stopping you. Do you understand this? Right? And this is why mindset is so important. In fact, that's why when I mentor students, the first thing I go over with students in my mentoring program is how to fix your mindset. An entire mindset training. That is why I go over mindset first. You don't start off with studying first. And that's why I hate when people go online and search up top 5 study techniques or how to study. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, it's not about the studying. It's about your mindset and your limiting factor, which is you. Okay, once you fix that, then you can learn how to study. Okay, obviously you need to learn how to study properly, but I'm saying there's a step before that, which is fixing your mindset. Okay, now, if you are someone who is actually interested in wanting to make an academic comeback and get that 95 plus ATAR against all odds, or 90 plus ATAR, or whatever ATAR you want, then you might be interested in clicking the first link in the description. Okay? I don't mind if you click it or not, it just, maybe you'd be interested. Just a change of scenery here. Thank you so much for watching that video, and if you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below for any other videos you want in the future. And yeah, speak soon. No more excuses. Stop blaming. Bye-bye.